Hi, I'm Jason Little, the author of Lean Change Management. I'm at Agile 2015 with Steffan from Pixis, and today we're going to be talking about how he's been using change canvases with one of his current clients. So welcome.
Hi, thanks Jason for having me. This should be fun. So what got me onto your team change canvas stuff with your different canvases is when I saw your talk last year at Agile Toronto, not Toronto, Ottawa, sorry. I saw your presentation. I said, wait a sec, I can maybe use this. Maybe this could be something I can try out with a couple of teams, because I was having trouble getting proper alignment with the teams. So I had designed a workshop to help the teams align at a high level using 6 thinking hats to see what their problems were. But I was missing a next step to say, where do we want to be? So I started with the team change canvas with one team, and we created a lot of space for them, because there was always the distrust level of, so why are we doing this? Is this for us? Is this for management? Who are we doing this for? And we managed to frame it in a way that they could feel that they were doing it for themselves, and it was their project that they were trying to create.
Right. So how was their initial reaction to this? Was there a little bit of apprehension, just thinking it was sort of something that was coming from the outside, or how long did it take them before they felt that they really had ownership?
The interesting part was we did this in 2 sessions. We did this in 2 afternoons. And after the first afternoon, doing the alignment workshop with the 6 thinking hats, they said, we're onto something here. And there was skepticism before that, but that created something. And then what we did was we did like on Friday afternoon, we did the 6 thinking hats, and on the Monday afternoon, we did the second part, which was using the team change canvas. So I had another team that I had tried something similar with, but not quite. So they had created like a target condition, which is like at the top of your thing, that 6 to 12 months, where do you want to be? So how we framed it with the team was, okay, so you walk in here in 6 months, describe me what that perfect day looks like. You walk in, what do you see? How are you working? What does your day look and feel like? So we did a bit of that. We did a bit of, okay, and how do you want to be known inside the organization? How do you want to act inside the organization? And we tied all those pieces together to come up with an initial target condition for them.
Okay.
And they created it. It was all their works.
Okay. Did they communicate that outwards or make that visible to the rest of the organization?
Yeah, that was one of the fun parts, because that day, using what they had found out in the 6 thinking hats, they also had experiments that they came up with. And what they did is they built out an Excel spreadsheet that had pretty much all the information in the change canvas, a bit adapted, but pretty much all the information.
Yeah.
And they made like a big poster that they put on the side of their work area, so anyone walking in the organization can see what they want as a team. And we did that with a few other teams too. And the process gets buy-in from the teams. That's what I love about it, is now I don't have the argument anymore. Are we doing this for Jason? Are we doing this for the management?
Right.
We're really able to create more of a feeling of, this is what we're creating for ourselves.
Okay. So is it something that the teams are still using today, and if so, how are they continuing to evolve it?
What I always tell the teams too is this isn't over. So in order to feed that, what we do is inside the retrospectives, that's where we take a look at our experiments that we defined inside the team change canvas. So as we're doing our retrospective every 2 weeks, we're talking about what our current experiment is and what the next one should be.
Right.
So just to say, once again, I tell the team this is an ongoing conversation. So there's some experiments that were there at first that we've never tackled, but it doesn't mean we're not still experimenting with something and what's most pressing for the team now. And one of the teams is really, really latching on to that, and it's really interesting to work that way with them.
Oh, that's great. We did talk a little bit earlier that you were now looking to kind of consolidate some of that and start to bring it up higher in the organization with more of an organizational change canvas?
More of another group. There's a group in the same organization that's about 30 people. Okay. So it's hard to do a team change canvas with 30 people around the table, but you want them to know that they will be involved in change. Change will come towards them. So in terms of change management for the group, I proposed to the manager, I said, so why don't we try this? So we took the strategy canvas that's on the same page. And so I just suggested, be ready for this, kind of be ready for this, but this we're going to co-create, this we're going to co-create. And the nice thing is at the same time, I'm helping this manager learn how to be able to co-create with his team. You know, you have to be ready, but it's not about leading people to where you want them to go. It's about trying to see how what people want lines up with what you want, with what the organization needs, and then come up with the common picture around that. So our intention is to create that strategy canvas, and maybe inside the strategy canvas there's one or two teams that need to go first, and with those teams we'll click down and create a team change canvas and see from there with them and build the cycle in the real with them.
Okay. So how would this be different from how you would normally approach going into coach an organization?
Well, what I found using this is it's about the conversation it creates. That's what I like the most. It's the conversation it creates with the teams. It helps show the management team that people do really want change as well, because sometimes you go in organizations, people look a little bit disillusioned or disinterested, and really they care, and they want to be part of the solution, but they need a space to be part of that solution. So I was looking for ways to do that, and I always try to do that, but this gave me a way to structure what I was trying to do. At least the startup point. After that, it can be very dynamic. I could not look at it for 2 months. But I find it's a nice coaching tool too, because sometimes you end up in conversations where you can go back to the team change canvas and say, okay, so we want to be credible in the organization. Is the action we're taking now, is that helping towards that? So it brings coaching beyond just the agile coaching of how we do Scrum or how we do Kanban or how we do Scrumban. It brings it around how do we want to be as a team.
Oh, great. Where can people find out a little bit more about you and what you do?
I work for Pyxis Technology, so people can come see us at Pyxis, Pyxis-tech.com. Personally, I like to write a lot about leadership, so I have a website that I have with some friends called provokingleadership.com, where I blog every once in a while about authentic leadership and how to bring that to the workplace.
Awesome, great. Thanks very much for taking the time to do this. And you can find out more stories about people who are using some ideas from Lean Change Management at leanchange.org. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Jason. Take care.
You too.